Maintaining your lawnmower is critical for lawn care success. Today, I'm going to show you how to keep those blades nice and sharp. Let's get out of the weeds. So a lot of people have probably not sharpened their blades in years. Some have maybe never sharpened lawnmower blades. But today I'm going to show you how easy sharpening your lawnmower blades actually is. And it's very important to sharpen your blades. The reason that is because once the lawnmower blades start to get dull, they will actually start to tear the grass instead of cutting it cleanly, which will actually give your lawn a actual brownish look just because it's ripping the grass. And so keeping your blades sharp is very important to keep your grass looking nice. So to sharpen your lawnmower blades, there are several different things that you can use. But for me, the easiest thing that I've found is actually just buying a lawnmower blade sharpening kit. And you can see it's comprised of this little stone that's attached to this drill bit that you can actually just put right on your drill. And then it kind of has the little balancing thing here so that at the end we can balance our blades, which I'll talk about how to do that at the end. But this little kit costs you $8 to $10, somewhere around there. So it's a very easy and affordable way to sharpen your lawnmower blades. So before we get started, I want to go through everything you'll need to sharpen your lawnmower blades. And so first we have a socket set, because I'll just use that to help take the blade off. Then we have our sharpening kit made up of the stone and balancer. I have a pair of vice grips, and I have a drill that I'll be using for the stone. And so those are all the tools that you're going to need. Step number one, we have to tilt the mower over. But with lawnmowers, it's very important that you tilt your lawnmower on the proper side. The easiest way to determine which way we tilt the mower is to find where the air filter is. And so for me, on my mower, the air filter is right inside here. So you always tilt your lawnmower away from the air filter. The reason this is because if I tilt my lawnmower with the air filter facing down, gravity will actually take effect inside the engine there, and I'll actually get gas and oil to actually leak into the air filter, and I'll just have a huge mess and actually ruin the air filter itself. Whereas if I turn it the other way, gravity is actually working for me inside the engine there, and it's keeping everything away from getting out of the mower. So air filter's here, and so I just tilt my lawnmower back over on its side, and you have everything right here. One other quick thing to note is if you have a fuel shutoff on your mower, find it and make sure you turn it and shut off the fuel. That way, if anything ever happens with you turning the blade, that you will help to prevent it from actually accidentally starting on you.
Another important safety step is to disconnect the spark plug. To do this, you simply remove the rubber boot as you can see in this picture. This will help prevent the motor from accidentally starting on you when messing with the mower blade.
It's time to take off the lawnmower blades. So every manufacturer is going to be a little bit different with this. With mine, I actually just have to take off these two right here to remove the blades, because I actually have kind of a double bladed system on my mower. Some of you might just have one single in the middle to undo, but for mine I have the two bolts that I have to get out of there. So first you need to figure out what size it is. So you need to take your different socket parts and test it out. So that was a little bit too big, so I'm going to go down a notch. Yep, that one fits perfect right there for both of them. And so I attach it. So I got my attachment that I need to do this. And so next I take the vice grips that I have. And so what I do for the vice grips is I actually just use them as kind of a blade blocker. So what you want to find is the leading edge of the lawnmower blade. So for mine, the leading edge is here and then over here, because the lawnmower, it spins like this direction. And so find the leading edge, and then what you want to do is attach your vice grips on the side, and this will help to block the blade as it comes across. And so there you can see that the vice grips are blocking it. And so now I just take my socket and start to loosen it up. And so now it's very important on this part that you remember everything, how it goes in order. And so for me, I have the bolt here, then I have a washer, and then it's onto the blade. And so that's what I gotta remember when I put that on. An easy, quick tip that you can do is to take a picture of the bottom of your mower so that you see exactly what it looks like. And so I got the bolt, washer, and then the blade comes off. So now this is a very important next step. Once you have your lawnmower blade off, take a picture of the direction that everything was, because it is very easy with these lawnmower blades to actually install them upside down. If you have any grass buildup, just take a flathead screwdriver and start to scrape off some of the parts where you might have grass buildup underneath or on top, because this will actually throw off the balance of your blades. Also inspect your blade for any kind of damage, because if your blade is damaged or anything, you may have to end up just replacing it instead of sharpening it. So this is a good time just to check and make sure your blades are still doing okay. Okay, so now I have the blades all taken off and scraped off to the best that I could get. And so what you want to do now is, if you have this kit, you attach it to your drill just like this, and then you see as you... So now what you're going to actually do to sharpen these is you want to find the leading edge of your blade. And so if you look at the blade here, you can see it starts to bend down here, and then back here it's just straight. So you can see the leading edge of the blade is actually right here. And so right here, and then it's going to be on the opposite back side over here. So you can see right here, you can see where it's bending down. This is the leading edge right here. And so this is the part that you want to get sharpened. And so how this actually works is, if you see, I put the edge right inside of here when I'm running it. And what it's going to do is it's going to grind it down and sharpen that right at the perfect angle for you. Just a real easy sharpen. And so you don't have to worry about getting the angle right and any of that. You just stick this in here, run it, and you will actually see it starting to get sharper, and then you'll be able to feel it by hand by feeling it how much sharper it's getting. And so what you're going to do for each blade that you have, you're going to sharpen each side of it, and then after that we will sit them on the balancer to check the balance of the blade. And if it's not balanced, then I'll know if I need to make any adjustments for where I need to sharpen it, and I'll explain that here in just a moment. So first off, let's sharpen the blades. And so another thing you can do is, if you have vice grips or something that you can lock this blade into place, that might make it even easier. For me, I think it's just as easy with this type of a system, sharpening system, just to hold it in my hand. So I kind of just grip the blade kind of firmly, and then I stick it in the leading edge into the thing and just let her roll, baby. And so you can see as I'm starting to do that, you can see, look how it was black and now it's starting to get that silver, just because it's starting to grind stuff down off there. And so what you want to do is, the leading edge, it's not all the way into the middle. The leading edge on my blade ends all the way up here. And so you don't sharpen all the way down here. You just sharpen out here where the blade, the sharp part's actually supposed to be. So you can kind of see just by looking at it there, right where it's supposed to be. So I'll go ahead and keep sharpening. Now let's get the other side. So you can see leading edge before it's sharpened, leading edge after it's sharpened. And so also with lawnmower blades is you'll notice whenever you buy a brand new blade or get a brand new mower, the blades always come pre-sharpened. So if you go and you find your blades aren't in very good condition and you go and you buy new ones, you don't have to sharpen those. Those already come pre-sharpened. And if you ever notice or see a brand new blade, they aren't like razor sharp to where like you're thinking, oh, this thing's really gonna cut me. They almost still feel a little bit dull. So you don't have to just grind and grind and grind away until you get like a knife's edge on these. That's not really what you have to do in order to get a good sharp blade. So now I have both blades sharpened and it's time to balance them. Okay, and so what you do to balance your blade is you actually take it and sit it just inside of the balancer here. And what you want to do is make sure you lay it straight and see how it's balanced. So if you look at the blade right there, this side over here is almost touching the picnic table, whereas this side's up. So what's actually the problem is this side's a little bit heavier still. And so in order for me to get the blade equally balanced, I need to take a little more off of this one to lighten it up so that way it's even. So let's check it out. And so you see there, we got a pretty good balanced blade. Now let's check the other one. So you see here, you can see that this side over here is a lot heavier, and so I need to take a little bit more off on that side to get it equal. Let's check it out. So you can see it's really nice and balanced. So now I have both my blades sharpened. So now I need to get it back on the mower. So this is why it's good to take a picture on your phone once you take them off so that you can remember which way they go so you don't end up putting the blade in upside down. So I've actually sharpened my blades a lot with this mower. And so I know that on this one, it kind of sticks up a little bit and this one has an indent. And so they actually fit together really nice once they come together. And so it kind of gives a look like that, where I got leading edge, and then over here, leading edge. And so that's what tells me that it's on right. But just take a picture with your phone just to verify it for whatever mower you're using. And so now it's time to get the blades back on. So first thing you want to do is stick them back on where they're supposed to be. And then if you have two bolts like I make sure the washer's in, then the bolt, and I just start to do it by hand. And then I'll go and do it to the other side. So I want to make sure that my vice grip is catching it this way, so that way when I turn it, I can get these bolts really nice and tight. And so you can see how easy it is just with one of these sharpening kits to sharpen your blades in just a few minutes. And so the more that you do this, the faster at it that you'll get, and you'll be sharpening your blades in no time. The next thing is how often to sharpen your blades. It really just depends on how much you mow and how much yard you have. So what I like to do for me is I actually sharpen my blades 2 to 3 times a year. I usually make sure first off in the spring when I'm starting out, I sharpen them. Then usually as I'm leading up to like June, July, I sharpen them. And then I'll usually at least sharpen them again going into the fall. And so as you do this more and more, you'll start to kind of tell when your blades are starting to get dull just by looking at how your grass is getting cut. And so kind of use that as a reference as well. But I would say a minimum 2 to 3 times a year for most of you to sharpen your blades and keep them sharp. So I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.